What it do? What it is? It's your boy, Ben Mossy. That's my name. It was given to me, and now I rock it. I'm gonna say this. I thought this was a good lure for getting people to subscribe, right? Subscribe because I'm gonna be doing this for my whole goddamn life. So now, if you subscribe now, you'll be a part of history. Quite strong, I thought. I'm really not sure about the lighting right now. There's quite a harsh sort of halfaging going on. You know what? Today's video is about letting go. I'm just gonna let go of it. I'm sure it looks good and I can fix it later maybe in the editing. I actually quite like mucking around with the Lumetri scopes, which is like the color stuff. It's fun, man. You feel super technical. You feel like you're like reading waves and stuff, and I feel sort of like, yeah, worth. So no, letting go. So the fun thing was that the last video in the shed was actually called Trouble Letting Go, and now we hear let go. No, I've let go, and pretty glorious. It's like, I think letting go and trust is like sort of the hand in hand, right? Because it's letting go means letting go of the idea that you can control it. So, or certain areas where you think you can control it. Let's say your car breaks down. You can choose to get angry about that, or you could choose to let go, because in choosing to let go, then you realize that it's going to unfold one way or another, which is an important thing. Like, so energy is going to be spent. There's going to be a transaction. Your car's broken down, and it's almost like the next part of the equation is how you're going to either react or respond, right? So you're in the equation no matter what, right? But where the choice is that, let's say you do react, right? There's not much choice in that. That'll be a subconscious sort of, let's say you've always saw your dad get angry when his car breaks down, so now when your car breaks down, you reactively get angry too, right? So then that's the part of the equation, reaction. But then you, as you're becoming more of a spiritual, more aware person, let's just call it awareness, you'll realize that there's a new part of the equation. There is now the response, which is a choice. You choose how you respond, and you just react how you react. There's not much choice in a reaction because it's impulsive. It's conditioning. Whereas response is now you. This is you choosing how you're gonna be from this point on. You know, what equation are you gonna be? Now, whatever you do in this equation is going to add to the situation, because you can't actually take away from the situation. I can't put in, oh, subtract car. You know, like the car is broken, it's done. Like the equation, what has happened is set, and you can't take away or divide. You have to either add or multiply. So you can add to the situation by saying, well, you know, I actually wanted to get a new car. Could be an opportunity. I could add my 2 cents, and that 2 cents could be that I don't actually feel like this is a terrible event. You know, I could feel like, let's say the car was shit and it was running shit. Then maybe it was just time. This was it, like the equation that had to happen for you to move on from that car to the next. So that's my 2 cents. Or I can multiply it, right? And this multiplying is where you really get into the fun stuff, right, of letting go. Because you can let go of your reaction, realize that it was just a reaction, it was impulsive, right? And now I'm going to decide that I'm going to multiply the situation by not even looking at it as just like, maybe this is a good thing, or maybe this is how that happened, but this is exactly how this had to happen. And now, because I can see that, I'm going to times this situation, right? If everything in your life is an equation, right, and they all link up to each other to equal some big thing, right? Any point of that equation, with you being the free will gadget you are, and this new response element of choice, you can put in a times, right? And you could say, oh, this car breaking down is actually fantastic because I can go sell this car and then buy a van and start business or something like that. You know what I mean? You could get funky with it. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Look at that mug. Coolest mug. Cool mug. Had it for years. Love it. Always thought like if someone broke into your house you could break it and then you'd have like a knuckle duster ceramic blade. I was like, whoa. I'm in a very suburban area. There's no threat. But, you know, we like to think of violence. Not anymore. And how does this all relate to letting go? I feel like I've kind of like... So the timesing process, right? You do that by first letting go of all the anger and the emotions, right? And letting go of the idea that this car breaking down is like a terrible thing. And you invite in the possibility to times it. You start drafting up ideas about how this could actually be an opportunity, right? And then you let go of that, but you let go in trust that it will happen. Now let me say that again. You let go of it, trusting that your new multiplication thingy is going to happen. And now whatever you're going to trust in to do that is really up to you. It's very subjective. If you're a religious person, and you know, it'll be whoever your religious figure is. If you're a nature person, you could like let it up into the hands of nature. Whatever force you think allows for all this to be created, right? Because sure, this is made out of metal and a guy made the metal, right? But who made the actual metal in it? Like, who made the elements within the metal? A man didn't create those elements. So whatever force allows for all this to even be here, for there to be elements, because no one created an atom, no one did all that. Whatever force creates, you're going to leave your trust in them to carry out your multiplication plan. And it's so freeing because it's like sort of like a letting go, but it's sort of like you still have a say. It's like so most people's standard is they react and then they think they let go because they don't think about it anymore, but they react, the energy is obviously within them, and then that just keeps swirling about in them for actually forever until they deal with that. Like, let's say it's like you're someone that gets frustrated when someone does something silly on the road, right? You might think that you've let go of that because you're not thinking about it anymore, but you got angry and then just moved on to the next thing. That anger is actually still there because it wasn't transmuted into the next thing. It was almost like anger for this hour, right? Next hour sadness, next hour anger. But maybe that anger actually was from that previous one that's just going in. It becomes a cycle of like, it needs to keep coming to the face of things because it hasn't been dealt with. I think that's quite profound. So where does that leave us? So like, letting go, instead of like it all just being a churning infinite loop of like you think you've let go, you actually have let go because you've put in a new order. You've said, okay, here's my ideas on this is how I think it could be, and you've done this in a positive spin. And then because you trust in a higher thingy, it's not up to you anymore. You've put in your order and you've let go, and now if you have the right amount of trust, who knows, a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month later, or however long it needs to take, it'll happen. You'll get that van or that opportunity or whatever it is. It will come to you because you've trust in, one, in yourself to make a good order, and then two, in like whatever the higher thing is, which is probably ultimately just linked back to yourself anyway. So if you trust yourself in making a good order, then you probably don't even need to like get super funky with it and, you know, Jesus you. I hope that resonates with you guys. So you let go by putting in a new order essentially, and then you just let go. And you don't add to it. You don't add. It's actually, it's kind of interesting. It's the opposite of effort. It's effort without attention, or I think that's it, yeah. There was a little string of quote I heard somewhere, maybe that's not it, but it was like something like that. It's so, yeah, you just put it out there and then it's like anything more would be doubt, right? So like if I put down my multiplication order, right, saying that I want this event to turn into something that turns, let's say like the car breaks down, that's going to cost me £2,000. I now want to put in my multiplication order that event's going to make me £1,000,000. because I'm going to turn it into a van, blah, 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 right? Ooh, I forgot really where it was. So, like, you put in that order. Yeah, anything more to that would be doubt, right? Because if I start to go, well, you know, how would I turn it into 2 million? Like, what's the nitty gritty of that, blah, blah, blah. Anything, it's like starting to, like, convolute the order. Like, where's the trust in that if you're asking how it's going to work? Because you're never going to know how it's going to work. You're never going to know all the ins and outs of the future unless you're a fucking witch. So it's like, you just trust that the future is going to come. And it's probably not going to come exactly how you ordered, because the universe is great like that. It's mysterious, it's vast. It will come in a way that you wouldn't have been able to guess, because if you could guess it, then there's no growth. If it's predictable, then how are you supposed to come out of a predictable situation anew? That's fun. That was yes! Yes! I love this video, and I love you too. I'll see you in the next one. Toodaloo. Wait, actually.